Welcome to the Bird Brain Podcast. Do not base your relationship solely off of how much you care about someone. Base the relationship off of how they show they feel about you. I know a lot of times, when it comes to our relationships, we say, but yeah, I care about this person. They mean a lot to me. Deep down, they're good, or they're doing their best. You have to ask yourself, are you a coal miner or are you building a sandcastle? How deep are you digging in terms of your relationships? Because a coal miner, yeah, you're digging for treasure and there might be treasure that you find, but your health is compromised the entire way. You may not make it up as the same person. When it comes to a sandcastle, it's like, yes, it's a beautiful build, it's very delicate, but the great thing about water and sand is that they're both infinite, and when they work together, you can always rebuild something beautiful, even if the initial thing was destroyed. Relationships are a ship. They need a bunch of different parts, jobs, positions, responsibilities to keep it flowing, to keep it traveling to its destination. And every ship has a destination, right? What is my ship? What's the capacity? Is there room for other things and people on this ship? Do I have room for the resources I'm actually seeking? Just because someone is not doing this particular thing well does not mean that they should be out of your life completely. But it is important to understand, how is this person fulfilling their duties on my ship? Sometimes we make the accident of putting someone who may be good in the engine room, making them a cook in the kitchen, and then you start to realize that the food doesn't taste that great. The quality of the food is not great. And the food is the most important thing on your ship, right? This person's been in this particular job position for a little bit. The first week started off great because they like the perks of what came with being a cook versus being in the engine room. And now you're starting to notice that things are kind of like falling by the wayside. So what do you do? What do you reconsider? What do you reevaluate? What do you understand about yourself in terms of your vetting process when it comes to the relationships, again, in your life? Am I giving people the wrong positions to do jobs that they might not know how to do, they might not be qualified for, they didn't sign up for? And is there still space for them, but just not in this particular spot? Sometimes you make the mistake of having a party guest fulfill the role of steering your ship. And this is a metaphor for understanding the importance and placement of people in our lives, where we hold them versus where they actually exist and they do well at. Not everyone can exist here. Some people are good and qualified in this particular area, and that's it. And then there are people, you have to really ask yourself, are you allowing space for someone new to come in and fulfill that role because someone else did not do well at it? Are you giving them the space and the grace to work their hardest if they're showing that they want to work hard to fulfill this particular role that's important to you on your ship? Your destination in life, or your ship in life, may take different courses, yet it also may have certain stops along the way. Very few times do you find people that have been on your ship the entirety of its journey. And that's an amazing thing. And sometimes you will find people who've been on your ship for quite some time. They know the ship inside and out, and they're willing to keep showing up. And that's a beautiful thing. And understand what your ship is. Understand what kind of ship do you have. Is it a party boat? Or does it have partying, but also does it have other functions as a ship altogether? For me, I can speak to communication. Not constant talking, but communication. Communication with intention. Communication with sincerity and honesty means the world to me. So that's important on my ship. There are very few people who are good at communicating, and I value that so much. So you have to understand what kind of ship you have, what the destination is, what the resources are, what the purpose is, what space you have on your ship altogether, and what job opportunities do you have on your ship. In order for a relationship to work, both people have to be working at it. Understand your value in someone else's life is to recognize how they show they feel about you. Catch the full episode on iTunes or on Spotify. Get a full listen in and just ask yourself, am I looking more at my relationships based off of how I feel or how I'm being made to feel? And you should have a lot more clarity moving forward. I wish you guys the best. I hope you drink water. I hope you take care of yourselves. I hope you take flight.